Between now and 2028, we're going to expand the accommodation for students in this school. You also have a difficulty with water, and I want to thank our Oga Asaga, who is chairman of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, for getting the commission to agree to do 4 mechanized boreholes to ease the water pressure in our school. But I want to assure you that next year, work is going to start on the Damango Tamale water station. And so we're going to create a new pumping station. Tamale has always relied on Dalong for water, and so the water is pumped from Dalong through Kumbungu all the way to Tamale. We're getting a new source point for water on the White Volta, and so we're going to pump water from Yape to bring additional millions of gallons of water into Tamale. And once that project is finished, Ganasco's water problem will be a thing of the past. The Minister of Finance read his budget recently, and there were some significant highlights for our secondary schools especially. Ghana has gone through several transitions when it comes to secondary education. As I said, when we were in school, we had O-level and A-level, and then later that was changed to junior high school and senior high school, and then eventually free SHS was brought in, and so there have been various transformations. One of the major setbacks of free SHS was the fact that it didn't have dedicated funding. And so our headmasters, like Headmaster Douglas and his staff, were always frustrated because the money to run the schools always came late. And so they had to turn into beggars to go around begging for food for children. And I remember in many instances, our northern schools will send an appeal to all students to bring food to feed our students. That is a thing of the past now. Now, because of the dedicated funding for free SHS, we're able to release the money to the schools and to the buffer stock company on time so that children can be fed nutritious meals. But one of the initiatives that we are coming up with is to try and resolve the problem of the school placement system. The school placement system has run into problems because schools are categorized in 3 categories. One is category A, the second is category B, and the third is category C. About half of the student population in secondary school are in what are called category C schools. And most people don't want to go to category C schools. And so we need to improve the infrastructure in category C and category B so that everywhere, every school will be a category A school. That is how it should be. And so, as the finance minister said in the budget, we're selecting the first 30 category C schools. We're going to build science laboratories, we're going to build dormitories, we're going to build classroom blocks, we're going to do STEM laboratories for them so that we can expand those category C schools to either category B or category A, in order that any school that any Ghanaian child gets, he will feel confident that he has a good chance of making it into tertiary education. We also we've identified 30 of the E-blocks that I started that were abandoned. And we're going to put the resources in and finish all the 30 E-blocks so that we can expand the space in secondary school for our children. But we are here for Ganasco. And as was said by the minister, next year we are provisioning for Ganasco a new school bus and then a new classroom block a new dormitory block for boys, and a new science laboratory, upgrading your science laboratories. And then the best one, a 5,000-seater laboratory, auditorium, one of the biggest you would ever find in this country, a 5,000-seater auditorium. But we are coming up with a policy, and I hope that Ghanasco will be one of the schools to embrace it. And that is a policy where secondary schools will have a poultry farm and a livestock farm. And so Ghanasco will be one of the schools selected. We'll establish a poultry farm here and a livestock farm so that you don't have to go to the market to buy your meat. You take your meat from your own farm. And so when we have the farm, you have to be volunteering to go and feed the chickens and the sheep and goats. And again, headmaster will have no excuse when you go to the dining hall and there's no meat in your food. And so we'll select Ghanasco as one of the early ones to participate in this program. So on occasion of the 65th anniversary, I wish to thank you, myself and Lordina. And for many of you, I came back to do national service. And at the time, Lordina was in Form 4. I know the girls like to hear this story. And so I taught her for my national service year. And then she finished Ghanasco and went and became a teacher in Banvin Primary. And so when I came back and I met her again, she had finished school. And of course, I was also a very young, handsome man. And so the rest is history. In Ghana, we say, your ears fit you too much. Thank you. God bless you.